Well, hey there. So it is the gamers holiday of Summer Games Fest 2024. I've actually I've actually worked to remake this video a few different times, so I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent here at the start. Initially, I thought that I wanted to keep up with each show and all of the biggest games from that show. But then more and more and more kept coming out and being announced. As much as I would love to go through each show and talk about each game that came out, because I did see every single one of them, I don't have the time to put into that. So what I've decided to do is I'm instead going to talk to you about my top 10 games from all of the announcements. Then I've got 15 honorable mentions to talk about on the back end. Those are going to be much shorter, very quick snippets, and we'll move on. And so without further delay, let's get started. These are going to be in no particular order. They're just top 10, not 1 through 10. The first game that I want to talk about is Star Wars Outlaws. We've heard a lot about this game from the last few years, and we've actually got a lot of trailers, but not much gameplay. After seeing some actual gameplay of this, I'm pretty hype on it. Now, it's got a lot of the Ubisoft elements that we're used to in some other games, but yet it's different. It definitely doesn't have the high quality bar that Star Wars 1313 did many years ago but got canceled, but it is bringing a new vibe that I don't necessarily hate. The last 2 Jedi games we got from Respawn with Cal Kestis were 9 out of 10. I mean, the last one was as close to a 10 as I could possibly think. If they can give me that quality in a bounty hunter story and make the world more diverse and different planets to travel to, and just make it the open world of my Star Wars dreams, then it has the potential to be the best Star Wars game. From shooting to stealth to open world elements. I'm here for it. I'm digging what I'm seeing. I'm gonna stick around, and I hope it turns out to be as amazing as it currently looks. Now next up, we have Dragon Age. It did have a new name come out with the announcement as well with some gameplay. It is now called the Veil Guard. I do think that Dreadwolf sounded a lot cooler, but I get the idea that they're going for. It's about the group, and it's not just about one individual, and that's what matters. Now, to give a little bit of backstory, I have played Dragon Age Origins and Inquisition. I did watch my friend play through Dragon Age 2, or at least most of it, and he gave me most of what I wanted to see from it, so I didn't feel like I needed to play it. Personally, I thought Origins was pretty damn good. And then when I played through Inquisition, I was like, hot damn, this is even better. Now, I know that they are kind of taking this back to the action roots. They talked about not making it as tactical, but you can still kind of pause time to a degree. In the gameplay, it looks a lot like Inquisition, but better, newer, and just more enhanced. And as long as they keep with that style, I'm okay with it, and I love that. Inquisition was a fantastic game. I loved playing it. I even enjoyed the multiplayer. I know that's a hot take. But the Dragon Age games are for sure some of my favorite fantasy RPGs. This is one I will probably buy and play day one just because I'm a big Dragon Age fan. And now we get to the more fun ones. Hyper Light Breaker. Now, a small caveat, I did not beat the first game. I plan to go back to it, I know, I'll beat it, I'll get to it. But their last game, Solar Ash, I did play through that. I almost got the platinum. I played a lot of it, and I loved it. I am a big sucker for well-constructed worlds and good gameplay, and that's what they're good at. They're good at both of those. Heart Machine is fantastic at developing a unique and colored art style. The visual representation of their games is extremely unique. Almost any time that you see it, you're gonna know that's Heart Machine. Every single time you get a screenshot or gameplay, you know that that's them. Ever since they announced this as a third-person roguelike kind of Risk of Rain 2 vibe, I love Risk of Rain 2. So this is very much up that alley, then I'm gonna love this one even more. Especially with how colorful the world is and how unique the dynamic systems are working together. I've heard a lot of interviews about it, especially with the NoClip one that came out recently, and I'm pretty hype on this. It's high up on the list of games that I'm anticipating this year. This one will for sure be a game that I probably play day 1 and then maybe day 500, because like Risk of Rain 2, it kind of never ends, and as long as they keep doing good updates to it, then I'll keep playing it. Just take my money already. Now on to Make You Cry, the video game. And I mean that sincerely from the bottom of my heart. This game is probably gonna make me cry for multiple reasons. For one, the art style. Oh my god. Have you seen how this game looks? It's from the creators of Grease, and they know what they're doing. They have their art down, and boy, are they fucking artists. They know how to construct an extremely beautiful game. They also have a fox deer in this, which is very similar to the one that's in Hilda, my favorite kid show of all time. They won me over. You will have to peel me away from this game because I am going to absorb it and inject it right into my bloodstream. I can already feel the emotions that are going to come over me when I play this, and I'm ready for it. Please, give me a release date sometime soon. Now, these next few ones are going to be very action-based, very much a spectacle, and very much, oh my god, look at that cool thing happening. First up, don't hate me, Black Ops 6. Okay, back up. Take the knife away. No. Don't do it. I promise. Black Ops 6. It looks good. I kind of hate it because I am a pretty big hater of most Call of Duties. Now, I say that, but I've bought and played many of Call of Duties. This one is going back to round-based zombies. It's also going to have a new fluid movement system. It's going to have a pretty good campaign that's going into the 90s, I think, and that's when I was born, so that's kind of cool. And then the multiplayer actually looks unique for once. They're actually changing things. They're going back to the old school system with the prestiges, and the way that movement will work is going to be overhauled. It's a return to form. The graphics are always top-notch, and Call of Duty always plays extremely well. That's why I honestly keep buying them, because you can almost not find a better playing first-person shooter. The last few have been very, very, very lackluster. I've not been impressed. The last one to impress me was the 2019 Modern Warfare reboot that they did. It was pretty amazing. But after that, they've just gone stale. And I hope this one turns out to be as good as it looks, because from the previews and everything we've seen, it looks like it's going to be pretty damn good. Now, on to my heart and soul, Metal Gear Solid 3. This game means more to me than many, many, many other games. I have the fondest of memories playing it. It is such a vibe. I love Kojima on the Metal Gear series. That man was unstoppable. Playing through 2, I thought that I was never going to experience something better. And then when 3 rolled around, god damn. Seeing that game was like seeing Jesus walk across water. What the fuck was happening? Blew my expectations through the roof. And I was a child. I didn't have extremely high ones. Going back and seeing them being so faithful to the recreation of this game and bringing back David Hayter. Yes, they're doing everything right here. It seems like they're doing everything to actually remake this game and then bring it forward as well. So not just put a shiny coat of paint on it, but actually make it play better and then give you multiple options. In an interview that I saw, they were talking about how they actually updated it to where you could actually play it in the old school PS2 style, where it had a fixed camera and then you go into first person to actually do the shooting. But then if you don't want to utilize the old school style, you could just play it as a third-person shooter, almost like 4 and 5. This game is legit a dream come true. If they are starting with 3, and then they go to 2 and 1 and 4, or whatever they're gonna do, oh, please, do a good job. Konami, don't fuck it up. You have fucked up so much shit, especially with this series. Don't fuck it up. Okay? If you don't, I promise, I'll give you all the change that I can find under my couch. At least some of it. I don't know. And my final closing thoughts are...
Kept you waiting, huh?
Now, onto Monster Hunter Wilds. I've been a huge fan of this series for a very long time. Back in the day on PSP, I would chew through these things because I had almost no other game to play. But I would take it on trips or sometimes just be laying in my bed late at night and just be chewing through some monsters. Then I played a little bit on the DS as well and the 3DS. Now, on the DS ones, I didn't play as much, but as soon as World came out, oh, it rocked my world. Yes, pun intended. That game blew my fucking socks off, like it did most others who played it as well. The spectacle is ramped up to 10. The story, still not that great. But we're not here for the story. We're here to fucking murder some monsters and turn their shit into our armor and weapons. Sometimes throw their shit too, literally, back at them. New weapons, new monsters, new everything. This new game has new traversal elements, along with the new mount that you can ride. It seems like they're also making it even more extremely large, and the open world areas that they're gonna have, we don't know how big they are. We don't know how large the gameplay sections are actually gonna be. But if the most recent game, Rise, is anything to go on, they're gonna be pretty large. I can't wait to get together with a couple of friends, go through, skin some motherfuckers, and turn that shit into some cool blades that I can then use to kill his cousin later. We are getting closer to the end here. The next one is going to be Assassin's Creed. Now, Assassin's Creed Shadow is, should I dare say, looking good. They have the same kind of aspect that they had with Syndicate with 2 playable characters. Now, of course, Yasuke is the big brute samurai gonna fuck your shit up. Gonna go in the front door loud and proud. He's gonna show you that he's there, and he's gonna show you a good time, you know? Big giant club to the fucking face. Versus the ninja lady, I don't know her name, I'm sorry. She's gonna sneak in, she's gonna use her chain whip sword thing, and she's gonna slice you in fucking half without you ever seeing her. Now, it's not giving me Ghost of Tsushima vibes, which I'm a little bit upset about, because that game was an absolute masterpiece. But this game looks to be doing something unique that's not in the old school way, but also not completely in the new school way either. With how I felt to Mirage, that game was horrible. It was not good at all. I'm really hoping that this one picks it up and actually comes out to be something better. Based on the snippets of gameplay that we have seen, it seems like it's going in the right direction, at least for what I want to see. Does that mean that it's going to end up executing on it? Who knows? We'll find out, but I will keep a very close eye on it. I hold Assassin's Creed very close to my heart because it's just a very fun series that I've enjoyed over the years, but the last couple ones have been so lackluster to where I've been down on this series overall. But here's to holding on hope. It looks good. I hope it stays that way. Now for the last one of the action series. Yes, I've got one more after this, but for the action games, this is going to be the last one. But boy, is it a fucking good one. Doom, baby. Yeah, that's right. Doom, The Dark Ages. The last 2 Doom games were 10 out of 10. They played so well. The pacing was good. The new weapons that they brought into it, the speed and spectacle of actually murdering all these fucking demons everywhere, and the environments in a way that you would kind of just fly through them, fucking shit up. I have fallen in love with the recent Dooms. I remember playing the old school ones back in the day on PC when I was a fucking baby, basically. I don't know why my parents let me play them, but they did. I can remember them very fondly. Now, of course, there has been a resurgence of the boomer shooters, as they call them, but this is not one of those. Now, what it kind of looks like, which I hope it kind of takes some of the aspects of, is almost like a Metroid-esque, where you're going to unlock weapons and abilities that will let you go into a slightly open world area or backtrack a little bit, and it will let you actually traverse these new zones. What we saw in the gameplay definitely has me intrigued. There's a new shield, there's a skull splitter, I think is what it was. That gun looks nuts. But it seems to be a bit more open world, or at least larger open zones. And I think that could be very good, because for one, more diverse and bigger number of enemies. You can kind of just chew through them and have a lot of fun with it. This is one that I will keep a very, very, very close eye on. It will probably be a day one buy, but we'll see how the reviews turn out whenever it comes closer to release, and maybe you'll hear more. Now, the last game that I want to bring to your attention is going to be Thank Goodness You're Here. This game looks so goofy and so fun and lighthearted, yet very adult in some of the themes. During its trailer, I was laughing the entire time. Now, I did show it to my kids because nothing in the trailer was too adult, I would say, but it had like milking a fucking cow. And that shit had me dying. I am a sucker for good comedy. Good timing in comedy is the best. This game seems to have it in spades. It's got very good voice acting from what I can tell. The art style is something that's unique, but yet we've kind of seen before, and I like it quite a bit. It's a bit like a coloring book being brought to life. This one is going to be a guilty pleasure for damn sure. But that's pretty much going to be it for the games. Now, I do have a list, and God, it's a fucking long list of honorable mentions. Now, I'm going to run through these really quick. Some of these were already announced before, some of them were getting new gameplay elements, or were just announced. Either way, they're going to get thrown into this very rapid fire section here at the end. Now you're going to hear me talk a lot faster than I normally do, but be prepared. First, we got Indiana Jones, the man that steals everything that he can find from every temple and jungle and any ancient artifact that he comes across. Next up, we got Metaphor Refantasio, the creators of Persona from Atlas. This is a crazy turn-based RPG that looks amazing. Now we got Fable, the Western RPG that was from Xbox that I never played the first one. I only got to 2 and 3. It was very goofy, fun, lighthearted. I enjoyed it. It's very good. Mixtape is that indie vibe that everyone loves with really good music, a cool art direction, and maybe a story that's out of this world. Now we got that Southern Bayou game at South of Midnight. It looks pretty fucking good. Phantom Blade Zero. It's definitely a game that I thought already released with a name like that, maybe on mobile phones. But it is a Dark Souls-esque game. It's got a lot more Ninja Gaiden or DMC kind of vibes, Platinum-esque based things, and I like it. Tenjutsu is a Hades-esque Dead Cells, whatever the fuck we want to call those nowadays, and it looks really good. The art style's great. And on to Inoitra, the Italian Renaissance Dark Souls. Yeah, it's another fucking Dark Souls. You got it, but this one looks unique. Maybe it'll be good. Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. What can I say? You're a Marine, you're in space, you're fucking shit up. Now we got Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I never got around to the first game, but it had a lot of cool RPG elements that I never saw in other games, and I hope this one turns out to be great because it does look really good. And it also has sexy time, which we also like. Wonderstop is the next game made by the creator of the Stanley Parable. Anything that man makes, I will play it. This looks really good. I hope it turns out good, and that man has extremely witty humor that I enjoy a lot. Let's mash together PlayStation and Legos, and we have Horizon Adventures. This game honestly looks really good, even though I'm not a huge fan of Lego games, although I do play a lot of them for my children, but the graphic fidelity for the Lego bricks is crazy, so I will be playing it. Now this game reminds me a lot of Brutal Legend. It's called Tears of Metal. It has a Musou-esque vibe to it, but it's more of a roguelike. The art direction is a painterly, artistic way that I enjoy. It's on the radar, and I hope it turns out to be good because it looks really good. Now, if we want to talk about a cool mashup that I never thought was ever going to come out or had any idea existed, we're talking about Demon School. PS1 graphics for RPG elements, but then mix that with the intensely pixelated art of the characters, and you sold me. A lot of older style games are getting a renaissance nowadays, especially with like N64 and early PS1 games, and the big catch is one of those. It's got that N64 style to it with like Mario 64, but it looks amazing. Holy shit. Now for the last one, I'm going to butcher the shit out of this name, but it's Kinitsugami, I think is how you say it, but it's a Capcom game. It gives me definitely a little bit of old school vibes, like maybe PS2 games, but the art direction is out of this world. It has a little bit of Okami-esque way that it looks to it, but yet not at the same time. It's so unique and so new. It's unlike almost anything I've seen before. This is one I'm for sure going to keep my eye on. And that's going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you liked this last rapid fire section here at the end. And yeah, I had to remake this video 4 different times and it took me like 4 days, but hey, we're here. We did it. My last note about that is just to kind of let you know up front that this whole week I'm not making anything else because this fucking burned me out. just because I tried to remake this in multiple different ways and cover so many different games, but it's been like the gamer holiday, right? We can take a little bit of a break. Be back to your regularly scheduled broadcast next week.